78,279 people visited the emergency room in 2007 as a result of horse-related injuries. Head injuries were about 15%, or 11,759 of them. Concussions accounted for about 5% of the emergency room visits. This is almost 2 times as much as any other sport. Over 100 deaths are estimated every year to the result from equestrian-related activities. Riding horses can be unpredictable and dangerous. In an effort to make riding safer, many pieces of safety equipment have been made available to riders. Today, I would like to talk with you about equestrian safety equipment, why not to use it, and more importantly, why you should use it. Let's begin with taking a look at safety equipment itself. Firstly, we have the helmet. This is like in any sport, you would wear it to protect your head. Secondly, there's the body vest. There's 2 types of body vests, both hard shell and air vest. Air vests are attached to your saddle, and when you fall from your horse, they inflate. This gives you extra protection because it also inflates and protects your neck. Thirdly, we have gloves, which prevents you from getting blisters or any harsh wear and tear on your hands. We also have riding boots. They're made of a thick leather, which protect you when you're not riding the horse if they are to step on your foot. Wearing a softer shoe, the horse could injure your foot or even break it. Lastly, there's the safety breakaway stirrups, and these are regular stirrups with a rubber band on the outside that are designed that if you fall from your horse, the rubber band with any pressure breaks and you're not attached to your horse or drugged for any period of time. You're released from the horse. So, now that we know about equestrian safety equipment, let's talk about why we shouldn't wear any of it. First of all, it's uncomfortable. Everybody knows on a hot summer day that nobody wants to go put on a big, thick helmet or be weighed down with a thick, heavy vest. Riding shoes and riding boots are not as comfortable as your everyday tennis shoes. Gloves get hot, and it's just uncomfortable. Secondly, it's expensive. Prices based on popular website doversaddlery.com show the different prices of helmets and vests. The Troxel Spirit helmet is $44.95. Troxel ES helmet, $89.95. Tipperary T4 is $199.99. Charles Owen AYR8 riding helmet is $379. GPA Speed Air Evolution helmet is $599.99. Vests are equally expensive. The Intech Cushion Protective Riding Vest is $139.99. The Charles Owen Contact 5 Body Protector is $309. The .2 Air Hunter Vest is $675. And .2 PS RS Hybrid Jacket, $870. Thirdly, people think that it's not going to happen to you. You've ridden your horse 1,000 times. You've ridden it in the hills and in the arena, and you have a great, safe horse, and falling off and getting seriously injured is something that happens to other people. People on Facebook, people on the news, a friend of a friend. But you've never been seriously injured, and you don't think you ever will be. But for as many reasons as there are to not wear a helmet, there's even more reasons why you should wear a helmet. So next we're going to talk about why to wear safety protective gear when riding horses. First of all, it could be life or death. According to on and off the horse mechanisms and patterns of injury in mounted and unmounted equestrians, January 2003 through December 2007, 284 patients were examined. Most injuries occurred due to falling off while riding, 54%. 33% resulted in extreme fractures, and 27% had head injuries. Mounted equestrians were commonly incurred injuries to the chest and lower extremities, while unmounted equestrians incurred injury to the face and abdomen. Head trauma frequency was equal between mounted and unmounted equestrians. There were 3 deaths, 2 of which were due to severe head injuries from kicks. Helmets use was confirmed in only 12 cases. That's only 6%. Mortality they concluded in this study that 1, reduction in head trauma coincided with reduction in mortality, as both were reduced in the present study by historical. 2, they concluded that horses are dangerous to riders and handlers, as evidenced by equal rates of head injuries. This finding reinforces the need for protective equipment at all times around horses. 2, the higher cost of injury. According to the article, equestrian injury is costly, disabling and frequently preventing, imperative for improved safety awareness. Says, a restorative review of horse-related injuries from 2001 to 2008 identified 231 patients with a mean hospital charge of $29,800. This was a total of $6.9 million. According to the article, safety helmets not for me. Even a mild concussion can be a life-changing experience. Head injuries are cumulative, and an original trauma can be made much worse by subsequent injuries. Head injuries are expensive. A minor concussion can cost thousands of dollars in medical expenses. Most catastrophic head injury average costs $4 million. So when you compare this to the cost of a few $100s for safety equipment, it doesn't really compare. 3, it can happen to you. According to the article, equestrian injury is costly, disabling, and frequently preventable, the imperative for improved safety awareness. The first step towards injury prevention is an individual's equestrian to recognize the helmets and other forms of protective equipment are beneficial for them personally. Although personal protection has been recommended by equestrian organizations for decades, surveys have indicated that equestrians often exhibit the "it won't happen to me" attitude. According to Safety Helmet for You and Young Rider magazine, you may be thinking the following: you're an experienced rider. There's no statistical correlation between your skill level and the likelihood of getting injured. You may be thinking, helmets are for those who jump, and I don't jump. Only 23% of riding accidents occur during jumping. You might be thinking, I don't participate in high-speed events like barrel racing. Because injury risk depends on the height from which you fall and not the speed at which you are falling or traveling, even a fall from a standing horse can be devastating. The gait at which most riders commonly suffer injuries is the walk. You may be thinking, I just ride for fun. I don't do a lot of competing. Most horse-related injuries occur in those who ride for pleasure. In conclusion, it is dangerous, and horseback riding is dangerous, and accidents out of your control do happen. There is safety equipment available to riders, such as the helmet, vest, boots, gloves, and safety stirrups. Safety equipment can be uncomfortable, expensive, and you might think it's not going to happen to you. The truth is, it can happen to you, no matter what experience or horse you have. Horse-related injuries can be extremely financially costly, or even can cost you your life. Make the decision to be safe and to set the example of safety to others by wearing the proper gear. Horses may not come with a seatbelt to buckle up before you ride, but you can snap your helmet and zip up your vest before every ride.